everyone, welcome to my bilingual channel and podcast, A New Way en Vent Nouveau in French. I am your host and my name is Marguerite. Our weekly podcast for the month of June 2020 promises to be rich and extremely motivating and timely. Investing in Africa is a hot topic. Recently, I've made a presentation on my YouTube channel where I discuss about investing in Africa. Why investing in Africa, and I got a lot of interest and feedback from the African people living in the continent and a lot more from outside of Africa. So and then the coincidence with the month of June is that I had on our weekly podcast we had already scheduled to have entrepreneurs from Africa discussing about their businesses. And if you're looking to I've been really asked a lot about the sectors where to invest in Africa, and I'll make a presentation, a summary of that at the end of June. But I think in the meantime, answers can be found on the various podcasts for the month of June 2020. To my greatest satisfaction and yours, young entrepreneurs from Senegal, and especially from Senegal, will discuss their different businesses, successes, and challenges. For people who are looking for recommendations, motivations, or idea on sectors that are fruitful in Africa to invest in, I invite you to follow all the podcasts of the month of June 2020 with A New Wind en Vent Nouveau in French. Do not miss any of them, and I'll explain why down below. I'll display who are going to come and what are the topics and the sectors they're going to discuss about. So I have 7 entrepreneurs and young African. I have 7 young African entrepreneurs, 2 literary criticism, and a artistic bonus for the month of June 2020. Every Saturday at 12:01 a.m. in Eastern Standard Time, for corresponding to 4 a.m. in Dakar, Senegal, and 6 a.m. in Paris and Lagos. The 2 literary criticism will be posted in the beginning and the end of the month, and I will also have to end up the month of June, I will post the last musical monologue that I usually share, where I make you discover one of the African artists that really I have a crush on for the time being. And I will first interview with a cattle and sheep breeder who will introduce you to the potential of animal breeding in Africa and dissect the specificities of the sector. My second guest has just opened a fish store in Senegal, in Dakar, 7 months ago. Well, going 8, 7 months ago, with only 90,000 CFA, the local currency, which is a little under $200. And all that he had are those $200 to start his business, and a strong will for being successful. And now, 7 months later, he has 4 employees. Our guest will be here to discuss his business model and encourage you to get started. I also have an exceptionally combative woman, relevant and a visionary. She has really recently started the last year. And she had decided to launch her poultry business, and she would really surprise you by the approach on poultry and on her poultry business. And I really like her ways, her business style. They look healthy. They are healthy, and she's really ambitious, and great business model for you too. And my 4th entrepreneur is another successful man from Senegal. He's combative, well articulated, and creative. He specializes in processing and transformation of fruits and vegetables that come from the southern region of Senegal, Casamance. My guest adds value to the local products that have been neglected for hundreds of years. He just transforms them in so many different ways that are really healthy, in natural products, healthy, good for you, and all from the area or from his surrounding. And the results are really stunning. His approach makes the South extremely proud and engaged within his business model, and he does collaborate with local small businesses in the South. So it's a great business model, and I am so proud to have him because I'm also from the South, and I can't wait to share this entrepreneur with you. So my fifth guest will entertain us on a very particular fashion style that comes to us straight out of the streets of Dakar. Our designer presents his brand and as part of his identity, and positions himself in a very particular and characterful way in the African fashions landscape. It's a really interesting one. My interview number 6 also transforms and promotes basic products such as shea butter, coconut oil, baobab oil, black soaps, and so many of these traditional beauty products that we ancestral outside that we use on a regular basis, but in a very basic way. So she has found ways to transform those products, to adapt them to the American market. And she has a very successful store in the United States where she sells high-end beauty cosmetic products for you. And it's a really great model, and I think a lot of people interested in cosmetic can definitely learn a lot from our lady. And she will be here to remind us that our traditional products are marvels, and that can be very lucrative if we use them in an intelligent way. Does that make sense? My 7th interview is a special episode. It's the opportunity showed itself, and I just made it my guest of honor for the month of June. One of the young finest African elite intellectual and CEO of a large American multinational corporation will be sharing his life, career, and thoughts about entrepreneurship and motivating young Africans to grow their confidence and position themselves as leaders all over the world, no matter where they are. He will be, like I said, my June's guest of honor. My last podcast of the month will wrap up everything in music. I have an incredible artist that I can't wait to share with you, and it's going to be fun. I like this one. I like this June podcast. Well, thank you for making this long with a new win en Vent Nouveau. I can't wait to share the month of April's podcast with you. Stay tuned. I add all the links to where the podcast will be posted usually on my website, and I would strongly encourage you to follow us, like us, and subscribe on YouTube, and also follow our Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. We share a lot of content and everything related to Africa, speaking up about Africa that moves. And I have a lot of good things coming up for you. A new win has decided to launch another sector. We have decided that about a while ago we've been offering services to the entrepreneurs, and I'd like to share that with you on another video. I'll add all the link to that on the description. Talk to you soon. See ya.